Hey everyone, it's Pufuu here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's been a hot minute since Nintendo has shared any new information on Splatoon 3. And while we wait for new information to emerge, I made an abundance of new concepts to share in today's video that'll go over things such as battle aspects, UI, music, and clothing. Alright, on to our first concept, and it's... Six-player Splatoon. Oh boy, Nintendo's servers can't even handle 8 players to begin with. That poses as two very massive problems. Well, you know what? If Mario Kart can do it, I'm sure Splatoon can do it, although I highly doubt this will happen. So how exactly will Nintendo pull off 6v6 turf war or ranked mode? Well, number one, they better make the maps bigger, because 12 players running around a tiny map that small, that would not work very well. So here's an example of a 6-player league team. They've got their ranking currently listed at 345. Their team name being an Untitled team. Very funny. Untitled. And our next concept revolves around... Yeah, no. We'll skip that one. And up next we have is a new UI for the equipment screen. Now previously I did make one back in my older videos in the summer, but I decided to revisit that and make it once more again. But this time it's a little less chaotic and a little more streamlined. So I've reduced the clutter and made it more simpler so it's more easier on the eyes, but there are a couple changes I want to go over. Now I just want to specify that some of these concepts were made a while ago, and there are some jokes in here that you might know that are probably dead memes by now, but anyways, if you get what this is, then I'm sorry. Now previously you can zoom up on your Inkling to see their shoes, shirt, or headgear a little more closer. Well, you can do that again, but this time in the game it's a little more detailed because your Inkling will do various poses because we want different angles, come on. I want to see these shoes in different angles. So anyways, we can take a look at a new shoe that's being introduced in the game, and that's the laceless gels. Now these made an appearance in the first trailer, and I mean, they look comfortable for sure. But this is under the shoe section, which has some new abilities, as you can see. So a couple things I've added, or more like reduced, in this new UI design is the categories. So down here we have is a section for Buddy. Now this specific category allows you to customize Little Buddy with new gear and some other things like Little Buddy's hairstyle and maybe their attire. Wouldn't it be so cute if you have Little Buddy dress up in basically anything? So rather than having Little Buddy wear whatever this bland gray sock is, could you imagine if you could have Little Buddy wear some shades? That would be so sick. Anyways, I think customization for Little Buddy would be a great addition to the game. Beside that, we have this other, which is just a collective category for settings, your Inkling or Octoling, and then some Switch controls, and then, here's another special surprise, your spawn point. Now you have spawn drones, your flying espresso machines. Wouldn't it be really cool if you could customize your own spawn drones with stickers that you unlock in the game? Imagine if you did an achievement and then you unlock a sticker. We'll slap it on your spawn drone and then ba-bam, you got your own custom spawn drone. Exactly, it's a statement. It's just a great way to scare people off. Alright, so beside Buddy is just your classic head, clothes, and shoes. Nothing's really changed except for the new abilities. Beside that we have is the weapon, which is just a splatter shot paired with burst bombs and the Kraken. Yeah, that's right, Kraken making a return. I really hope it does, but this time maybe instead of being invincible, it actually has a health bar? Nintendo? But yes, I think the Kraken returning would be really nice. Anyways, up here we have a collection of new shoes. So we got the laceless gels, whatever these tacky things are, and then yeah, the shoes that make an appearance in the trailer, the one that the main character wears, I don't know, they look like space boots. And then below that, yeah, no, we'll skip that one.
Among Us.
And on to our next concept. On to our next concept. It is a music band concept instead. So as you know, Nintendo did share a new Splatoon 3 band, and that was Seaside with their first song, Clickbait. So then I thought about it and I was like, okay, you know what? A majority of Splatoon 3's visual aesthetic and music is based off the victory of Team Chaos in the final Splatfest, so I went ahead and created my own band with that chaotic vibe in mind. That's right, we have Bays Next Door. Haha, Bays Next Door. Very funny. Anyways, okay. That's right, we have a hyperpop group sensation. Now, if you don't know what hyperpop is, it's a very interesting genre of music. I really don't know how to describe it, except it sounds very chaotic, but it's also like pop music, but it's super chaotic. Anyways, I would be surprised if Nintendo did not do some sort of genre around this, because hyperpop is getting a lot of traction recently. So anyways, this group, Bays Next Door, consists of 4 members. So our first member is Shimmer Abalone, who is the lead vocalist. Her quote is, "I want it now." She's the lead vocalist of the group, and they do a lot of auto-tuning to her voice to make it sound very high-pitched. And they had a lot of distortion on it too. A ton of distortion and drive. Anyways, Shimmer Abalone is a C-pen. And our next member is Tracy Banks, who is the percussionist and producer. She is a 12-year-old who has a bank the size of the ocean. Yes, and Tracy Banks is a jellyfish of some sort. Next up we have is Bob, who is just a regular octoling. Anyways, he's the bassist and composer. His quote is, "I'm Bob, my riffs slap harder than these nuts." God, that was a really old joke. Actually, don't even include that in the video, just let them read it. And the final member, who is a Kobe. She's the synth and backing vocals. I still can't with the... Yeah. I don't even know. Anyways, they got some boots. I love the shimmer on there. They got boots and ooh, they got boots. Anyways, I don't even know what to say anymore. And up next we have is a new UI. That's right, it's a single player UI. So here's a couple of things I've changed from my previous design to the new one. So number 1, I've simplified it. Let's talk about some new additions I've made. So your health bar is back like every single game. You got 3 lives now in a map, which is a reasonable amount, but I think Nintendo might give you 5 or 1 depending on what level you're playing. And on the side here, well, we have your stats and collectibles and your health bar for Little Buddy. Well, you know what? Little Buddy now has a health bar. And if Little Buddy loses their entire health bar, you've lost the level. So that means you have to keep track of both your own lives and Little Buddy, which just adds another level of difficulty that I think would be really nice to the game, because the majority of the single player is pretty easy. So having something that's roughly the difficulty of Octo Expansion, but not quite, would be nice. So have Little Buddy have a health bar. Anyways, you got your power eggs. You're collecting them once again, except the font that I used for this area here is actually the one that was introduced in the Splatoon 3 trailer, Return of the Mammalians. Take a look at the end. It shows the Splatoon 3 logo. It has this kind of Futura font. Anyways, I thought it was a really cool font and I wanted to include that into the UI, so it makes an appearance here with the number of power eggs you've collected. And then beside that, you have another collectible. Now, I don't know what you would be collecting, but it looks to be like Sardinium. Maybe this time instead of being Sardinium, it's parts for the rocket ship. Anyways, the new Agent 3 is going around to collect resources to rebuild that rocket ship. And then beside that, we have is a golden egg. Maybe this golden egg is another collectible you can find that's hidden throughout the stages. You collect them to save Salmonids, I guess. I don't know what's really happening. This story mode is confusing, but all I know is that there's a bunch of fuzzy ink that's turning things into furries. So let's move on to a couple of new additions in the UI. So imagine being able to transition through multiple weapons in a stage. That would open up for some pretty cool level design. Instead of just being stuck with a splatter shot in one stage, you can use a charger, a roller, and a splatter shot at the same time. Let's say there's a couple of areas you can't reach. Well, switch to a charger and you get longer range, and if you want to steamroll over a bunch of enemies, well then pull out your roller. Ah yes, character dialogue. This time we have Marie as one of our mentors, except she's got some very interesting things to say. Great parenting, throwing a child and feeding it unknown hazardous substances. Our character's such a great parent, throwing little buddy into unknown substances. Yeah, that passes as great parenting right there. Anyways, moving on to my next concept is a new battle intro UI. So my previous UI design, I think it was a little too bland, so I decided to revisit it and make it a little more interesting. So in the new trailer, we did get a couple of new camera angles of how the Inklings might be introduced. So in the trailer, they did show the drones flying in a circular motion before transitioning over to another scene where the Inklings and Octolings would pop out of the spawn drones, but I think that's how the battle intro might go. So we might get something similar to this, possibly. So just like the previous intros in Splatoon, we'll get introduced to this stage and what the mode is. But this time, rather than having information be directly in the middle, it's been shifted to the side to make something a little more dynamic, I guess. It'll give the battle intro a new look without looking the same as every other previous game. So you have your mode listed here as Turf War and the little quote that comes with every single mode that's listed with the games, and the name of the stage on the right. Now overall, I do think this battle intro looks a lot more fun and gives me more of a Splatoon 3 vibe, you know what I mean? And finally, our next concept. New weapons! That's right, we have the Cosmo Glugas. Now, exactly why did I choose this? Well, in the trailer, they did show an Inkling holding Gluga Dualies, and I was thinking, who said it was too early to make Sheldon picks? This is a really fun design. I thought it'd be cute if we had something that was Galaxy inspired, but yeah, it's just Gluga Dualies with a new coat of paint. Also, they're paired with a new special, or returning special. Kraken and a Splat Bomb. Pretty generic and simple, but I think it'd be a nice addition if we had something a little more fun for the alternatives. I think it's time Nintendo decided to make special skins for each weapon alternative rather than just having them be the same thing with a sticker slapped on. It's a little lazy, come on. But having some extra skin with some color. Also, I just wanted to test out 3D rendering, and this is what I produced, so I thought it'd be nice to share. But yeah, Gluga Dualies with a very funky design of space and galaxies. And that's a wrap! I hope you enjoyed some of the concepts shared in today's video, and if you have any other ideas you want to leave down below, let me know in the comments because I'd like to know some new ideas. I'm kind of running out of creative juices. I haven't made concepts in a really long time, but I need inspiration, so if you have any concepts you want to share, let me know in the comments below. They would be a great help. And until next time, Pufuu offline. Bum 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 bum.